I notice a lot of believers tend to play semantics with the Bible. They take words at face value rather than looking at what they're describing, without realizing that this is a translation from a whole different language. And so the words are not actually important at all. It's what the words are describing. And those are the words that are being used, but you could use different words to describe the same thing. And it doesn't make it a different thing because it's a different word. Okay? In the case of worshiping gods and worshiping idols, people a lot of the times, especially believers, will say, oh, I'm not worshiping any other god. I would never worship any other god. Because they're not actually using the word God for the thing that they're worshiping. They're using the word Google or the internet or technology. And they're not using the word worship, forgetting that the word worship means nothing without the action behind it. What does it mean to worship something? To bow down to it, to put it on high, to place it above all else, to love it, to cherish it, to have faith in it and trust in it and believe in it. And in the case of technology, what you have is something that is not in human or worldly form. It's a digital form that humans have created an idol, aka a phone or a tablet or a laptop or whatever it is, to access this digital god, to access the internet that they're worshiping. So they make this idol, and we bow our heads down to it, and we serve it with our data, and we legally agree and sign a contract that this God, this digital God, can collect our life as we sit and bow our heads down to this idol, to this phone every time we use it and serve it. They're putting it above everything else. Everything in their lives are encapsulated by this. And majority of people that I've talked to, either they agree and it doesn't make a difference to them, or they cannot at all accept that reality. They just can't. They've been put to sleep and they're not willing to see the truth. They're not willing. They can't, because it's so soul crushing. Because how can you survive in this modern world without it? You can't get a job where technology is not involved, where you're not serving some kind of technology with data. You can't. It's like you can't do anything without it.
For the worshipping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil. For either they are mad when they be merry, or prophesy lies, or live unjustly, or else lightly forswear
study
themselves.
About how your child's phone could be affecting their mood. The study's author found a link between technology and depression after looking at surveys from millions of teens and young
For
adults.
insomuch as their trust is in idols which have no life, though they swear falsely, yet they look not to be hurt. Howbeit, for both causes shall they be justly punished. Both because they thought not well of God, giving heed unto idols, and also unjustly swore in deceit, despising holiness. For it is not the power of them by whom they swear, but it is the just vengeance of sinners that punisheth always the offense of the ungodly.
There's this new idea going around that AI is going to take over and either control humanity or kill a bunch of people or whatever. But is it really AI doing it, or is it just a person programming it and then using AI as a frontman to cover their own crimes?
For it is not the power of them by whom they swear, but it is the just vengeance of sinners that punisheth always the offense of the ungodly. For neither did the mischievous invention of men deceive us, nor an image spotted with diverse colors, the painter's fruitless labor, the sight whereof...
Show you what a phone looks like under the microscope. This is what both Samsung and iPhone screens look like. They have these grids of red, green, and blue diamond-shaped pixels that make up all of the images you see on your screen. Even if the color on the screen is different, all of the pixels will be a combination.
Image spotted with diverse colors, the painter's fruitless labor, the sight whereof enticeth fools to lust after it, and so they desire the form.
The easiest way to attract your eye's attention on a screen is through color. It's also why notification bubbles are red. A little icon like this, or this, doesn't have the same impact on your attention as this.
I mean, there's a reason why slot machines are, bright in color and have flashing lights and ding, 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 ding. And they have the sensory input too, right? And so
an image spotted with diverse colors, the sight whereof enticeth fools to lust after it, and so they desire the form of a dead image that hath no breath. Both they that make them, they that desire them, and they that worship them are lovers of evil things, and are worthy to have such things to trust upon. For the potter, tempering soft earth, fashioneth every vessel with much labour for our service. Yea, of the same clay he maketh both the vessels that serve for clean uses, and likewise also all such as serve to the contrary. But what is the use of either sort, the potter himself is the judge. And employing his labours lewdly, he maketh a vain god of the same clay, even he which a little before was made of earth himself, and within a little while after returneth to the same, when his life which was lent him shall be demanded. Notwithstanding his care is, not that he shall have much labour, nor that his life is short.
Modern technology has made Ed's life easy. Too easy. So Ed wasn't surprised when he discovered
not that he shall have much labour, nor that his life is short, but striveth to excel goldsmiths and silversmiths, and endeavoureth to do like the workers in brass, and counteth it his glory to make counterfeit things, forasmuch as he knew not his Maker, and him that inspired into him an active soul and breathed in a living spirit. For they counted our life a pastime, and our time here a market for gain. For, say they, we must be getting every way.
As we have more and more connected tools, and think about it, we've got connected refrigerators now. Your car is connected, right? IoT, think of all the devices. All of that creates additional data. The data that's produced by each of us as individuals is increasing. The value of that data is increasing. More of us are coming online, so the total market size is becoming larger. At some point, we'll hit $1 trillion of human data.
For they counted our life a pastime, and our time here a market for gain. For, say they, we must be getting every way, though it be by evil means. For this man that of earthly matter maketh brittle vessels and graven images knoweth himself to offend above all others. And all the enemies of thy people that hold them in subjection are most foolish and are more miserable than very babes. For they counted all the idols of the heathen to be gods, which neither have the use of eyes to see, nor noses to draw breath, nor ears to hear, nor fingers of hands to handle. And as for their feet, they are slow to go. For man made them, and he that borrowed his own spirit fashioned them. But no man can make a god like unto himself. For being mortal, he worketh a dead thing with wicked hands. For he himself is better than the things which he worshippeth, whereas he lived once, but they never. But they went without the praise of God and his blessing. They, being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay there exiled from the eternal providence. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being
New survey shows 61% of people have trouble remembering things because of technology.
Dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions.
These days, horror films are more popular than ever, defining an era of cinematic fears and obsessions. But what lies beneath the surface of these sinister films is a formula guaranteed to make you
For
squirm.
neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noises as of waters falling down sounded about them.
It begins with sound. Filmmakers rely on disturbing soundtracks to heighten suspense and terror. You may have heard the waterphone, a slicing sound that sends shivers down the spine.
But noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenances. No power.
We are one cause.
On January 24th, Apple Computer.
No power of the fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful. For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not.
When we get scared, our body goes on high alert, a biological response to possible danger, and we snap into survival mode, fight or flight. But when we watch a scary movie, your brain knows that we're not actually threatened. Instead, the dopamine release from your brain becomes euphoric.
They thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not. As for the illusions of art magic, they were put down, and their vaunting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace. For they that promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. For though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and hissing of serpents, they died for fear, denying that they saw the air, which could of no side be avoided. But they, sleeping the same sleep that night, which was indeed intolerable, and which came upon them out of the bottoms of inevitable hell, were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted, their heart failing them. For a sudden fear, and not looked for, came upon them.
Technique that's used in almost every horror movie. It's when a character feels like they're safe, but within seconds are suddenly attacked by the film's monster.
For a sudden fear, and not looked for, came upon them. So then whosoever there fell down was straitly kept, shut up in a prison without iron bars. For whether he
It'll destroy relationships, it'll cost time, and it'll cost money, and it'll make your life worse. You have an entire generation that has access to an addictive, numbing chemical called dopamine through social media and cell phones as they're going through the high stress. They don't have the coping mechanisms to deal with stress. So when significant stress starts to show up in their lives, they're not turning to a person, they're turning to social media. They're turning to these things which offer temporary relief. We know, the science is clear, we know that people who spend more time on Facebook suffer higher rates of depression than people who spend less time on Facebook. That's
so then whosoever there fell down was straitly kept, shut up in a prison without iron bars. For whether he were husbandman or shepherd or a laborer in the field, he was overtaken and endured that necessity which could not be avoided. For they were all bound with one chain of darkness. Whether it were a whistling wind, or a melodious noise of birds among the spreading branches, or a pleasing fall of water running violently, or a rebounding echo from the hollow mountains, these things made them to swoon for fear. For the whole world shined with clear light, and none were hindered in their labor. Over them only was spread an heavy night, an image of that darkness which should afterward receive them. But yet were they unto themselves more grievous than the darkness.
We know that we are of God, and the whole world lies under the sway of the wicked one. And we know that the Son of God has come and has given us an understanding that we may know him who is true, and we are in him who is true, in his Son, Jesus Christ. This is the true God and eternal life. Little children, keep yourselves from idols.
I think I can't think. I'm so tired, but I can't sleep. I don't know the day of the week. I'm alive, but I'm not free. Whatever you tell me to do, I'll Wherever I go, whatever I do, I keep losing focus, focus, focus. My mind is rendered hopeless to their hocus pocus potion, but I can't help but notice the way they use hypnosis to impose their motives. You already know this. I keep losing focus. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Here I lose, lose, lose. I could use to win one, just lose, 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 lose. I pray in admiration to the creator of all creation. I think I can't think. I'm so tired, but I can't sleep. I don't know what to believe. I'm a liar, I am a freak. We look to these things, all these screams, they're not what they seem. Both you know and I know that we both have idols. You bow your head down to your iPhone. You think that's alright though? Go read your Bible. It says not to again and again like a psycho. That's probably the reason that we all have demons. You know they're there though you can't see them, but you're feeling drained, relationship strained. You're lonely, confused, and you feel the pain. That's just what they do to get inside you through your devices that you gotta use. But maybe you're fine and nothing feels wrong. You don't relate to the words of this song. Then I'm sorry to say it's probably too late. Your chance probably came and now it's gone.